You bastard! Are you kidding me? Why do I, the wife of the CEO, have to babysit?
What? What's wrong, Violet?
I really can't do it anymore. She asked me to babysit today right before leaving for the beauty salon. Enough is enough. Don't ever make me take care of your child again.
Violet, what's wrong?
Are you taking care of someone's child? Huh? I'm taking care of your child. What's with that attitude?
What? You're taking care of my child?
I just hate kids more than anything. But I thought my brother-in-law and you were in trouble, so I helped you. But I've reached my limit. I'll never take care of your kids again.
Wait a minute, please calm down. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never left my child with you, Violet.
Even if you've never left them with me directly, I know you leave your child with your mother-in-law, Nora. But in the end, Nora brings the child to our house. She says,
"My knee hurts. Will you take over for me?"
What? Well, I've never left my child with Nora either. Don't be silly. Don't have a child if you'd ask people around you to take care of your child. That's why I was against it from the very beginning. I said it's hard for poor people to raise a child. A poor couple working in a dirty factory has no right to have a child.
What? Poor people? Are you talking about us?
Who else could it be but you two? Unlike my husband who graduated from Harvard and is running a company. Jack graduated from a low-level university, right? And now you're both working hard at a dirty factory. You're definitely a poor couple.
What?
I was horrified when I heard you two were having a baby. You have no money, no education. It's impossible for you to raise a child. I knew you'd be a pain in the ass anyway. And sure enough, your child turned out to be a constant nuisance and problem. You selfishly leave your child with me, and that child is not well trained. Once again, I have never left my child in the care of you and your family. Besides, I'm doing my best to educate and discipline my child in my own way. Huh? My child has no reason to be called a problem child who caused trouble. More than that, I never thought that you thought of us that way. How could you lie and say you didn't leave your child with us? Can't poor people even say I'm sorry? You have no money, no common sense, and no shame. We have nothing to do with that in the first place.
Whose child are you taking care of, Violet?
You're not making any sense at all. I left the kid in front of your house for now. Please hurry up and get him back inside before he runs out into the street.
What? You left the kid in front of our house?
Listen, don't ever leave your little rascals in my care again. I mean, if you can't take care of your kids, why don't you just send them to an institution? It's a mistake for a poor person to try to have children in the first place.
Victoria, I'm sorry. I know you heard from Violet out of the blue, but you don't have to worry about it at all. I just rushed to pick up the kid.
Oh, Nora.
So I'm sorry, but could you please keep this a secret from my son? I'll see you later then.
No. Wait a minute. Violet knows whose child she is really taking care of, doesn't she? She was suddenly upset with me, and what she's talking about doesn't make any sense. Please explain what's going on.
Well, do I have to tell you after all?
If you don't tell me, I'll report it to Jack right away.
Please don't do that. I'll tell you everything. The child I left with Violet is actually my eldest son's illegitimate child.
An illegitimate child?
We only just found out about it recently. Michael, our eldest son, had a woman he was seeing behind Violet's back. That woman got pregnant and gave birth to Michael's child. My son took responsibility and he was paying for the child support.
No way! I can't believe he was cheating on her.
But the woman said,
I don't want to raise a child by myself anymore,
and threw the child to Michael. So we have no choice but to take the child in.
I can't believe this. Michael is always nice and serious about running his company, but I thought he was a decent young man.
I heard Michael was against birth from the beginning, but the woman was so stubborn that she forcibly gave birth to the baby. But he still paid the child support and is a great kid. And yet, she forced him to have a child in the end. She must be an insane woman.
What? Are you blaming only her?
So for that reason, it's been a hectic few months here at home. But my husband and I are getting old and our bodies ache all over. It's very hard to take care of a healthy 5-year-old.
Is that why you left your child in Violet's care? And you even used our names to do it.
I couldn't tell her the truth. We had no choice.
And to have his wife take care of his illegitimate child? How could you do such a thing?
Oh, really? I thought it was a good idea. I thought it might be a good chance to fix Violet's dislike of children.
What do you mean?
Well, Violet is the wife of our eldest son. But she's declared she won't have a baby because she doesn't like kids. But maybe she'll take this opportunity to have a baby because she thinks it's cute. Then we'll have an official heir to our family and we'll be happy.
If anything, though, she seems to be making her dislike for children worse. Could you please not get us into trouble too? I'll report this to my husband, Jack.
What? That's not what you promised. You promised to keep it a secret if I told you everything.
I made no such promise. I said I would contact Jack if you don't explain the situation. I never said I'd keep it a secret if you explained. Goodbye. Hey, Victoria! How dare you push your child on me again? You poor people are really brazen!
Huh?
I was supposed to go to an aesthetic salon today. And afterwards, I was supposed to have lunch at a fancy restaurant with my friends. You ruined everything. You should be the one to pay for the restaurant cancellation. Are you taking care of the child at Nora's request again? Actually, I need to talk to you about her. Just come and pick him up already. I can't take it anymore. Get him out of my house as soon as possible. Otherwise, I might just raise my hand. What? He's still so clueless. The moment I let him in the house today, he's running around the house saying he's playing with monsters. He's breaking my precious furniture and vases. That vase cost $10,000.
Oh my. He broke such an expensive vase?
That's not all. He opened the fridge without permission and ate all the expensive sweets. I worked so hard to win the limited quality online sales. One chocolate cost $100, and I cherished eating it every day.
$100 for a piece of chocolate? What kind of expensive taste does it have?
Of course, it's a noble taste that poor people can't understand. This is why I hate kids and poor people.
Violet, please calm down and listen to me for once.
That child is not mine.
I'll tell you everything that happened, so please calm down.
Shut up, you poor bastard. You have no common sense, you're wretched, and you're dirty. Your child is like this because you poor people have no common sense. You poor people have no right to have children.
Huh? Well, that's a bit much, don't you think? And calling us poor.
What? It's all true. You are poor people, and your kid is the worst kind of kid. How long are you going to keep him in our luxury tower? If you don't pick him right now, I'll call the police.
My daughter is at my parents' house.
What?
You mean
Your parents' house?
Yes, that's right. Actually, I took a summer vacation last month and went back to my parents' house. And my daughter seems to like the rural life at my parents' house very much. She was so upset that she didn't want to go home, so I left her with my parents for a while.
A while? Since last month?
All she has to do is take time off from daycare. And my parents are fine with that. I thought it would be better for my daughter's education to stay in the countryside for a while, and rather catching bugs, watching chickens lay their eggs, and so on.
But I've been taking care of your kids for a while now. Today, the other day, and even last month if you must know, Nora brought your child.
That's just a lie from Nora. The truth is that it is not my child, but the illegitimate son of Michael. She used our name without permission because she didn't want to tell the truth.
What? An illegitimate child?
I was also surprised when Nora told me just a few days ago. I didn't think that Michael was having an affair, and that he had a child and raised it by his partner. I didn't expect the CEO to have time to cheat on his wife.
Wait, you're kidding. Michael has an illegitimate child? There's no way he's cheating on me in the first place. Why would he cheat on his wife when he has me, his beautiful and proud wife?
Believe it or not, that's the truth. So please complain to your husband, the father, about that little boy.
Oh no!
In case you haven't noticed, my kids are very cute and well-behaved. I get regular reports from my parents that she can take care of herself and that she's doing well. And she never fails to greet and thank her parents for their hospitality.
What? That's crazy!
That's a big difference from Michael's child who acts like a monster. Well, I'll leave you now. Victoria, why did you reveal everything to Violet? Because of you, our house is in trouble now. It's not my fault. It's Michael and your fault, isn't it, Nora? He cheated on his wife behind her back. And you don't even blame him for it, but you forced Violet to take care of the kid. What's with that attitude? I told you to keep it a secret, but you told Jack. And you even told his wife without permission. If you had kept quiet, we wouldn't have had such a big problem. Then I'll take responsibility for that, and I'll cut off all ties with you now. What? Hey, you don't have to go that far. I'm not asking you to do that. No, let me take this opportunity to cut the ties. It's better for both of us. I don't want to see your faces anymore. What? We both somehow knew that you and Violet always looked down on us. Since the eldest son who graduated from Harvard is now a company owner, and the second son who graduated from a decent university works at a local factory. But this incident has convinced us well enough that you look down on us as poor people and make fun of us. What? What are you saying all of a sudden? I'm not making fun of you and my son. Really? Didn't you use our name because you were looking down on us? If you talk about Jack and me, you thought you could leave the kids with Violet. You thought you were allowed to do such an insane thing, right? That's something you wouldn't do if you didn't think we were stupid. No, that's not it. Besides, Violet clearly called us poor people. Now I know how you all look at us, so I'm going to cut off our relationship. Of course I have my husband's Jack's permission for this. What? You're just making a big deal out of something like that. It's you who will regret cutting off our relationship. The child will grow up, and it will cost a lot of money. You won't be able to rely on your grandparents or wealthy aunts and uncles. It's not right for you to make that statement anyway. You think that one day we will depend on you for money, don't you? We've been treated like a bunch of fools. But it's a fact that you two work in a small factory in a small town. That kind of work will definitely be hard to pay for in the future. Even if that time comes, we'll never help you. I don't want your help. I don't count on it from the beginning, and I earn enough money. Besides, my husband Jack has been promoted and put in charge of the factory. Our income will increase dramatically, so we have nothing to worry about financially. What? Promotion? He's put in charge of the factory. Does that mean he's going to be the head of the workplace? Well, even though he's the head of the factory, he's still just a hired man. But the income will go up several times more. I'll also be getting a promotion, so my salary will go up. But we were never in financial trouble anyway. But from now on, we'll be able to live a much more comfortable life. Oh, really? Your income is going to be that much better. Don't tell me you're going to move into a luxury condo like Michael. Or drive around in a luxury car like him. We can afford that. But we are not interested in such things, so please don't show your face to us again. We want to live peacefully as a family. Hey, Victoria, why don't you guys adopt this illegitimate child? If you can financially afford it, both kids will be fine. What? You're not going to adopt him? I mean, you're not divorcing Michael? I thought you would divorce him because you were angry at him for having an affair. If I divorce him, I lose my position as the wife of the CEO. I don't want that, so I'm not getting a divorce. But I also don't want to keep his illegitimate child. So we talked it over. As a result, we decided to have Jack and you take the illegitimate child. Please don't make such a decision on your own. We don't want anything to do with you anymore. Don't be so mean. Of course we'll give you plenty of money if you agree to adopt him. We'll pay all living expenses and school fees related to the child. How can you think that all you have to do is give us money? I pity that child. I can't believe that his real father won't let him stay with him. But think about it. I hate kids, and I hate cheaters' kids even more. It's worse for the child to be raised by a couple like that. That's true. In that case, we'll adopt him. Actually, Jack and I were already thinking about this. Are you sure? But I'll ask you to sign a pledge that you'll pay all the expenses for the child. Michael just started writing it next to me. He's already signing it, so don't worry. Thank you for being so quick. With this, I don't have to worry even if Michael's company goes bankrupt anytime soon. I heard that his business is falling apart. I'm afraid he might escape payment without a written pledge. What do you mean by falling apart? What in the world does that mean? Why don't you ask your husband yourself, who is right next to you? I only heard about it from my husband Jack. I heard that they're having a hard time because they're losing a lot of clients. Oh! Rumor has it that it's because he played too much with women. I heard that he was messing around with the wives and daughters of his business partners too. I hear they found out and refused to do business with him. Huh? What is that? I've never heard of such a thing before. This guy was playing with other women besides the mother of this illegitimate child? He even has an illegitimate child. Don't you think there are more women out there? That's so true. I just hope there won't be any more illegitimate children. Well then, I'll be coming to take custody of the child as soon as possible. Please make sure you have your written pledge at that time. Soon after, we adopted the illegitimate child. Now our family of 4, including our own daughter, is living happily together. It was difficult at first, but now he's a very polite boy. When I take them to my parents' house, they are always happy and playing together. And as for Violet and his husband, the company started to fall apart. Violet can no longer afford any of the luxuries she used to enjoy. She now spends her days as an employee of the company, desperately supporting the business.
Even under such circumstances, thanks to the written pledge, the couple have been paying the child support. After all, this kind of thing is very important, isn't it? In the pledge, it is also written that if the eldest son and his wife can't make it, their mother-in-law Nora and her family will pay the child support on their behalf.
I have a little announce to make. I'm coming down to the living room. Give me 10 minutes. I'm leaving now, so I'll just text you. You're a shut-in anyway. You don't have to come out of your room. You're going out? Jessica invited me to have dinner with her. Jessica's here? Unlike you, she married a rich guy and became a full-time housewife. She always goes out to eat at her favorite restaurant for lunch. A woman's strength is her charm after all. On the other hand, you're a charmless girl who's always holed up in your room at your parents' house, not even able to catch a single guy. You don't have to put it that way. How long do you think to stay jobless, having your family support you? Listen, Mom, I've been telling you a million times, but I'm not jobless. It's obvious that you're jobless. You don't even show any signs of working. You just stay home all day. Well, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. You never listen to me. So, what is it that you wanted to talk about? I've decided to live with Jessica. Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Are you going to move into Jessica's house? No, of course not. Jessica is coming back to our house with her husband. Did you discuss that with Jessica? Wasn't her husband's workplace far from here? With a car, he'll be fine. Even so, Jessica warned me that Dad's inheritance will disappear if I continue to live with you. And plus, it would be a burden on me having to take care of you. That's why she asked me to move in with her. Inheritance? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. Since your father passed away, we've been living off his inheritance. I've managed to support you with this inheritance until now. But Jessica told me it was a waste to spend it on you when I could have used it on myself. And that's how Jessica asked you to live with her? There's a limit to the inheritance. Once it's gone, we'll have to live on a pension, right? But since we won't get much out of pension, I thought I'd have Jessica's husband take care of me. So you're trying to have Jessica and her husband live with you in order to have her husband support you financially? That means he'll have to support both you and Jessica. Has her husband really agreed to that? He's crazy about Jessica. You're about to meet Jessica, right? Yes, she's gonna pick me up by car and we're gonna go out for lunch. To a nice restaurant. We haven't had that kind of opportunity since your father died. And since you're jobless, you never take me out for meals. Compared to you, Jessica is a really kind daughter. If you're going to see Jessica, I think you should talk to her. I think she's hiding something. Hiding something? If you're going to live together, you'll have to talk about various matters, such as how to manage finances and house chores and so on. No need for you to worry about such things. Lately, I've been talking a lot more with Jessica than with you, who stays in her room all the time. You should worry about yourself more than us. Worry about myself? Living with Jessica means that you have to move out. What? Move out? Of course. Your presence would be a nuisance. Nuisance? What's gonna happen to you after I leave? My life will be easier without you. Since we can get rid of the pesky parasite, it's a blessing in disguise. You weren't listening carefully to what I was telling you, so I thought you might be misunderstanding things, but I didn't expect it to go this far. What are you talking about? You're the one who's misunderstanding things. The only reason I've been nice to you is because you're my daughter. But you're a grown woman now. You need to be independent. So get ready to move out. That's Let's talk about it when you get back. There's a lot I need you to know. Your talks aren't worth listening to. After lunch, Jessica and I are going shopping, then dinner. I'll be home late. Well, please lock up the door after I leave. I'm sure you've already heard from Mom, but I've decided to move in with her. So you'd better get ready to move out soon, sis.
Jessica, did you talk things thoroughly with Mom?
Of course. We carefully discussed things yesterday while having lunch. Once you're gone, we'll sell the house. With that money and Dad's inheritance, we're going to buy a new condo.
Buy a new condo? You didn't discuss the most important things.
I told you. We talked it over. I guess you're frustrated that you're gonna get kicked out while we start our fun life at a brand new house.
It's not like that. If you continue with your plan like this, you'll be in big trouble.
I won't. I know you're not happy with the fact that I'm being treated better than you, but you've been relying on Mom to have an effortless life all these years. It's about time you passed that position to me.
Effortless life?
You're jobless, and you've been relying on Mom to financially support you this whole time, haven't you?
Is that what Mom told you?
You lied to me about having a job. I thought you were working from home because that's what you told me. But in reality, you were just a jobless shut-in. I can't believe you even lied to your own sister.
I'm not a shut-in, nor jobless.
But you were living on Dad's inheritance, weren't you? That's what Mom said. You never put a penny in the house.
Did Mom really say so?
Yeah. She never puts money in the house, nor does any chores. I don't remember raising her like that. I really failed at parenting. Compared to her, you are a good girl, Jessica, is what she said. You're really useless. Even your own parents say you're a failure.
I'm starting to feel sad about everything.
Now, it's my turn to enjoy Dad's inheritance and live an effortless life. So get out of my way, you parasite. You're a homeless woman now that you've been kicked out.
You guys are finished.
You're the one finished. Unless you find a new home, you're gonna be homeless for real. You should thank me for giving you advice beforehand. Sis, how's the outside world after staying home for a long time? Did you like my present?
I never thought my sister would give me a 3-night spa trip. I'm surprised.
A shut-in jobless person wouldn't leave the house unless I arranged a nice trip like this, right? I was afraid you might not be so open-minded about the trip. So, to be honest, it was a bit of a gamble. But I'm glad you decided to go. Thanks to you, we were able to sell the house.
Sell the house? What are you talking about?
Actually, I offered you a trip to get you out of the house. You didn't show any signs of moving out of the house. So we planned to sell the house while you were out of town. At last, Mom and I can move into a new house.
You sold the house already?
Yes, of course. After Dad died, the house was registered in Mom's name. I made sure to check who owns the house beforehand. We just signed the contract with the real estate agent. He was seeing some stuff, but we decided to leave all the troublesome things to him. We are just waiting for the money to come in.
Did you fully understand what he said?
Why would I need to understand anything? It's best to leave those things to the experts. That's why we're paying the broker's commission, right?
I think both you and Mom should listen to what they have to say.
We already decided it was pointless to listen to him. I mean, why do we have to listen to a jobless person like you? You should be worrying about where you're going to live next.
I was planning to move out of the house even before you guys brought this up, so I kept the important stuff elsewhere. And I've already found a place to move into.
That was fast. But we're not going to let you use Dad's inheritance for your moving expenses. Understand? There is not a penny left for you to spend. The same can be said to you too. What do you mean? I'm going to enjoy my spa trip in peace. I've been so busy lately that I haven't had a chance to relax. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Don't cry to me later saying you have no money. Hey, where are you? You moved out, didn't you? Tell me your new address.
What's this all of a sudden?
I was tricked. That real estate agent must have been a scam or something. Since our house was built on leased land, all you could sell was the house itself, and you didn't get any money, correct? How do you know that? It was all explained to us after Dad passed away, when we were going through the paperwork for his inheritance and all. I didn't hear that. It's just that you weren't paying attention. Plus, I re-explained everything to you after we came home, but you always ignored what I said. I didn't know it was leased land, and the real estate agent didn't even explain it clearly. I'm sure the real estate agent would have explained it. Even if you wanted to sell the building, you'd have to get the landowner's approval first. But you left that process to the real estate agent, didn't you? I told him that he should take care of all the hassle, since we're paying a broker's commission. As usual, you didn't listen to his explanation, and you just gave orders. I feel sorry for the real estate agent. What in the world is going on? I can't believe I only ended up getting a few $1,000s. A house over 50 years old built on leased land can't be worth much money. You should be glad that you at least got some money even after paying the broker's fee and the transfer approval fee to the landowner. There is no way I can live on this kind of money. I can't even buy a new condo. That's why I'm going to your place. Jessica suggested that I have you pay me back the money I've spent on you and buy a condo with that money. The money you spent on me? I've been financially supporting you this whole time while you just stayed home without doing any work. That money, give it back ASAP. I'm the one who's been financially supporting you all this time. You're the one who should pay me back, Mom. What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. I make over $300K a year. Stop dreaming. It's true. I work from home remotely. And what Dad's inheritance are you talking about? I'm sure there's no such thing. Then what's that money in my account? That's my money, which I transferred from my account. Dad hardly had any money in his account. It was barely $3,000 or so. It was gone after I paid for his funeral. All that's left is the house. What about the money you were always withdrawing? I told you, it's all my money. I paid for the land lease out of that account. I also paid all the taxes, including property taxes on the house. You also withdrew money from that account to pay your living expenses, right? Wait a minute. That money wasn't your father's? It was actually your money? It's as if you were the one supporting me. That's what I'm saying. You don't work, so you have no earnings. Since Dad's gone, I decided to stay home to support you, Mom. But since you and Jessica treated me like a parasite, I shall no longer send you any money. Without your money, how am I going to live? You're going to live with Jessica, right? That's right. I can live on Jessica's husband's salary. I won't have any problems even without you. But Jessica is about to divorce her husband. Divorce? He found out about Jessica's affair and is demanding alimony. She never mentioned such things. I believe Jessica didn't tell you anything. She won't tell or listen to anything that's inconvenient for her. But how do you know all this? That's because Jessica asked me to lend her money, saying her husband was about to leave her. I asked her why it came to this, and she told me how he found out about her affair and was demanding alimony. I refused, so she decided to kick me out and tried to live off the money by selling the house. That's unbelievable! So her husband won't live with us and there's no one to support me? So, both you and Jessica were trying to depend on each other for financial support. Where are you right now? I'm not going to tell you. I'm a parasite, so you shouldn't get involved with me. I didn't know about you. $300K a year, right? That's amazing. That's more than what your father used to make. You make that much by doing a little bit of work from home, right? My work is not little. It's a big amount of work. I've been sacrificing a lot for my work. But since this business has become more stable, I've been able to control things a bit better now. So it's true when you said you were busy? Then you're the one who needs me. Why would I need you? You need someone to do the housework. Mom, don't tell me you think you were covering the housework too, not just the money. I did all the housework for you. What are you talking about? I bought all the electric devices, like the cleaning robot, auto cooking machine, and also the washing drying combo machine. You hardly did anything. Even for the cooking part, we used Uber Eats a lot. That's not true. The house was always clean. I hired a housekeeper once a week when you weren't home. Oh, really? Hey, are you joking now? Or is it better for you to go see a doctor? Whatever it is, I don't want anything to do with you or Jessica anymore. You two shall try to manage to live on your own from now on. Don't say that! I was trying to repay you for giving birth to me and raising me. I've invested a lot of money in you to take care of my only parent, but you said you failed at raising me. Did you think I wouldn't be shocked to be told that? I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You've grown up to be a fine daughter. I think I've done enough to repay you. And I left all the old model electronics at home. Consider it as a final gift from me. Let's live as strangers from now on. Wait a minute, Katie. I'm actually more fond of you than Jessica. We're mother and daughter, so let's live together. You're single and I'm single too. I think it's more convenient for us to live together. Oh yeah, and this phone you're using right now? I've been paying for it from the account I was putting money into. So, if you don't start earning money, the phone service will stop too. No way! Please, think of it as helping your mother. Just because we're family, that doesn't mean I can easily forgive you. There are limits. From now on, I'll choose you over Jessica. Please, live with me again. Please. Katie, I choose to be alone. When my mother and sister realized that they couldn't rely on each other, they started cursing each other. They are also arguing over which one of them should bear the living expenses. My sister is officially divorced, and she is also being charged alimony. The two of them can't live on their own, so they live in a cheap apartment together, living on our mother's pension and their part-time job incomes. They continue to struggle to make ends meet, paying my sister's alimony in installments.